We are live on StreamYard and we're live on YouTube. So just wait for some people to show up. Then we get going. Oh, my scope showed up. I told you I ordered one, right?
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It even had another $5 off. So, but I mean, if you didn't know what it was, you would say, what a hell of a good scope that is. And it is a good scope. It looks, I mean, for what I do, right? It's going to work. So,
have you played around with it, looking outside and whatnot?
I mean, I haven't got it on a rifle or anything. I've been holding it and looking at it and trying to zoom it in and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it works pretty good. And the more I used it, the easier the knobs turn now because it was all stiff when it first started.
Okay, yeah.
But now it works quite nice.
Cool.
Cool. So I put it this way, I like it. So the guns, as far as I'm concerned, the gun snobs can go fuck off.
Yeah, now you just got to see if it holds up with a 308.
That's the key right there.
Yeah,
and that more likely won't be happening until I'm hoping for a Thanksgiving deal.
Okay.
Or I'll just leave it into December. As I told you, I'm in no rush to build this anyway.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to get it right.
Yeah, I know it's probably not, the normal in a sense, because I've gotten medium quality stuff where the clicks were off, the math didn't line up. I've had problems in the past, but I've also had the cheapest. Well, it wasn't the cheap. It was the nicest Walmart Cedar Point, some crap. I don't know, something I bought from there years ago for the kids with a 22.
Yeah.
And they've fallen with the gun. They used it like a crutch. The trigger guard got snapped because or cracked or whatever because it falls with kids and whatnot. So basically, the thing got abused, and the son of a bitch still holds zero fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Years later, I know it's on a 22, but I'm
I understand,
more
but
concerned with it bumping on things and all this, getting dropped, all that type of crap.
Yeah.
And it's still like dead on. So it's it's sometimes price ain't everything. It's not obviously it's not the most high end, clearest glass, any of that type of shit or whatever, but it worked fine to do what we were doing with it.
Well, maybe if I ever look through a scope that's couple of $1,000, I might see a difference. But the scopes I use, it's damn clear as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it stretches out there. I mean, I can see out there because I went outside and I looked down the road. I mean, it's sort of like I could see 500 or 600 yards. No problem, So I don't know. We'll find out. You should say when it gets on the when I get my upper and put it all together. Anyway, we got some people in the chat, so good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday night Rick's Life as I see it, and let me introduce my panelist at the moment is New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Could be better. I've gotten a little frustrated lately, so I went over to the rich people grocery store, and I got to say my bill was like $10 more than normal. But so not
any better.
Yeah, I got steak from there last time, and it was better than my local store. So go figure.
Yeah.
But
you say none of your breath, damn it.
yeah, exactly. So I was like, what are you gonna do? So obviously couldn't help it. Got some apple fritters, and so plan on having steak, salad, and cantaloupe for dinner. So
tonight.
Yep.
Wow, that's good. What time you want me there?
Well, the cook will start working on it here in probably about 20 minutes. So
All
I don't
right.
you can get here in about 40,
I'll,
45.
I'll, I'll, I'll try. I'll
Okay.
try.
All right.
All right. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat. First in the chat tonight was Two Live Moo, then Jacob S. Then there's Tony York and Raphael, then Black Cat Outdoors, Grim 90. Man, ain't seen you in a while. So, things are looking up, getting some people coming back. That's great. Now, I got to apologize, guys. I've been really busy this week. I know it's only Wednesday, and maybe I should have done it earlier, but I'm short on topics tonight. I totally spaced out. I had my notepad with me. Then it wasn't to about 10 minutes ago, I noticed it was too blank. So I got a couple of ideas floating around in my head, but so we're going to wing it for all you old timers in here, or not old timers, people who've been around a while. I'm doing what you call it, hit or miss. Tuesday night, 9:00. That used to be. He just winged every show. So that's what I plan on doing tonight. So we'll see how it goes. Ron 2A Matters is here too. So good to see y'all. Now, before when you're walking in, it's when I was waiting for everybody to show up. You got your swag pack. Great. Glad to hear it. All right. What I was saying is before I started saying hi to everybody, I was talking to New York Outcasts. I bought I don't know if you guys heard me talking about, being scope shamed. And any of my scope came in, and I'm loving the thing. Mind you, I'm only playing around with it right now. I bought it to put on a 308. That's going to be the test. If it can handle that recoil. And I got a feeling it will. So if it doesn't, oh well. I haven't spent thousands on it, so I'm not going to cry too much. So there we go. But as I was saying, I was outside messing around with it, and I'm looking down. If I stand on the corner of my yard, I got a straight shot. I can look down, and I'm not exactly sure how far it is. I know. I was looking at the pond that's down the road, and it's about 600 yards away. And it picked it up, no problem. So I don't know how much further I could see with it, but I don't plan on shooting that far anyway. Most of the time I'm just going to be practicing, in the backyard type thing, shooting at still targets and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you never know. You could be on
you
a
never
parade
know,
of
but
Debs, and then the truck runs out of gas because you were lazy, didn't put anything in, and you start huffing it, and then you see some spaceship over there about to just toast the place, and then you're out of chicken. Like they're going for the gas station and the diner. So there's no more cheese sandwiches or nothing. So what are you gonna do? You see the guy up there with a giant space ray, and you got your rifle.
yeah, I go for it.
It's
Yeah,
that or die starving. What are you gonna
that's
do?
right. Yeah. Actually, talking about that, starving. talking to the hunters. There's not an abundance of deer in this area this year. People are seeing them, but not like they normally do. You know what I'm saying? Where
They're
the
probably
big
all in my area.
the big buck is hard to find right here right now. they're saying. So, but I said if shit hits the fan, where everybody's out there trying to shoot one, if you think about it, an area like this, that's another thing you got to think about if shit hits the fan. Eventually, I mean, in your community, if you have woods around you where everybody goes hunting, that will be depleted of game because everybody's shooting it. And the stuff they haven't shot to run deeper into the woods or further afield, trying to get away from everybody. So you're going to have to travel farther to kill for your food.
Yeah, game management would definitely be a problem, but I think I'd be more concerned, well, at that time of becoming a target myself, especially if you get something, because, people that can't hunt, it's probably a lot easier for them just to stalk you, and then once you get something, then they can come take what you got. You know what I mean? Seriously, there's a lot of messed up people out there. So
you caught on to me, huh?
Well, I'm just that okay, dinner's almost ready. People on the hill again. Round up the boys. So I don't know. It's making a lot of noise, especially if you're using a rifle. I think that would be where you'd be, well off if you had some bow skills.
Yeah. Now, the question of the day, that now that there's this nice, it's hard to put a word on it, but the feeling in the country, right, or around here is fantastic. Everybody's smiling, except for the couple of grouchy Democrats we got here, but everybody's smiling. It feels like there's going to be some good times coming. But besides, I'm not getting into politics. But my question is, do you think ammo prices are going to go down some? That's what I want to know.
Me personally, I don't really think so. Just due to the fact of, like most things, if people are willing to pay it, they're not really going to lower the price. It may be the tiniest bit or something, but I doubt it's going to go back to like pre-COVID or something like that.
No, I don't think it will either. But where I was going with that is, if our man come January the 20th, right, on his stack of executive orders on his desk, and first one he signs is drill, baby, drill, right? The price of gas should drop. And everything in this country moves on the road, which takes fuel. If the price of fuel drops, the price of goods should drop, because it's not costing so much to get the raw product to wherever it needs to go. It's going to be cheaper.
Right. That makes sense. In theory. Yeah, but that's in practice. That doesn't necessarily seem be the way things go. And a good example of that is, what was it? Back when we had issues with fuel a while ago. I don't know if it was 08 or I don't think it was 08. It was a while back, but needless to say that, it's all over the TV. They're raising prices on all the airfare. Now places are charging you for pillows and all types of extra shit. Your carry-on, which used to be free, like the airlines started jacking everything up. And their public excuse was the cost of fuel. And then basically large people started getting charged 2 seats, all that type of stuff was good, but basically things changed politically, whatnot, and fuel dropped again. And basically they publicly came out and said they're just going to keep charging that money to upgrade their fleet. So I think, that's a perfect example of what companies do in most cases. So I think they're going to come up with an excuse to keep charging the same money, are very close to it. So even if they could reduce, stockholders, everybody wants bigger profits. You know, they want bigger bonuses, not smaller. So
Yeah, yeah. Vanessa thinks inflation's going to go up instead of down. You know, she says natural gas is pumped to the ports to sell to other countries. You know, so much for
maybe we could start getting pipelines going again, and
yeah,
maybe work on the type of refineries we actually need here to be more self-sufficient.
And talking
Things
about
like that.
fracking, a lot of people either like it or don't. But a side product of fracking is the stuff that's left when you've done it. Is what's that stuff that's in computer chips? That mineral that everybody wants and only a few countries have it. It can be processed out of that stuff that's left over from fracking. What in the hell's the name of the stuff? What are computer chips made out of?
But can it be done efficiently into a profit?
I don't know, but it can be done.
Yeah, because that's like that. Could be like that whole ethanol thing, where really in the end you're not
silicone.
Really
Tony just wrote it in there. That's a byproduct of fracking. So I read. Now I could be wrong, but that's what I read. So then we wouldn't have to buy it from China.
I don't know, maybe, but when you consider our EPA stuff like that, now you got a company trying to go in business to accept and filter that type of stuff. Yeah. There'd have to be a hell of a profit margin, because that's the reason why we don't have a lot of stuff in our country anymore, because basically the high regulation. So
yeah, but a lot of them are going to be slashed again, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean they say, I don't know. I know a few years back, I mean, I would assume this is the time period Trump was in president or in office. A friend of mine had an issue with a quarry about a runoff. So basically the quarry wasn't active. He started doing small amounts of work, pulling truckloads out. They're coming picking up pallets of stone and whatnot, and all of a sudden they show up and say that they've noticed basically by air that there's been activity. So he's in violation of this and that, do the runoff, which is going to be like 200 and some odd thousand or something like that. Basically a fine, where he's going to have to redo all types of stuff, to regrade things if it's going to be in service now. And the funny part was he was able to just pay I think it was like 15 grand to get a waiver, and they'll leave me alone for like 3 years. They don't even care.
Oh, there you go.
So it's kind of strange. I don't know. I think it's all kind of hinky anyway, because of that fact alone. It's if you want to keep running it like this, and whatever, we want 200,000+, or you can just pay this fine or waiver for like 15 grand or something. So,
yeah, and we'll leave you alone for 3 years.
So then we're gonna come back and hit you up again. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I mean, it seems like most of this stuff's just about damn money anyway. I mean, that's what most court stuff is. Traffic court, all this type of shit. You go with cash, and most of the time you're walking out fine. Ain't a problem. You go there broke, your ass might go to jail. So that's just the way things seem to go. It's all about the money, man.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about the money. Show me the money. That's what it's all about.
And we're already getting screwed when you talk about money. They tax you with your paychecks. Well, most people's. And basically everybody's, but unless you're underpaid or something.
I mean, as you all know, and I've said it on here, and I'm not bragging, but I don't pay any taxes.
Because the average person's taxed on their paycheck. They're taxed when they buy shit in the store.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have to pay taxes at the end of the year.
The only
Anything else they buy, they're paying taxes on. You
Yeah,
buy a car, you pay taxes. You sell the car, the next guy pays taxes when he buys the car.
I
So
am.
now they're getting
And
taxes.
I do all
Like
that. The only thing
they're
I just don't
getting
pay
us over
tax.
all over.
I just don't pay tax on my Social Security. For one, Indiana doesn't charge for Social Security on your taxes, and there's a limit. You know, if I'm earning a lot of money plus Social Security, yes, it will be added into my thing. I will pay taxes on it. But right now, I don't pay taxes. But every year, when I get a cost of living, I know it's not much, but my total, when you do the deductible, how much they give you, my total is getting closer and closer to the taxable level. You know what I'm saying? So one of these years, unless they change that, I'm going to be hitting that threshold, and I'm going to have to start paying income tax. I just want to throw that out there. You know, I do feel for you, but why I don't pay it? Why should I pay it when I don't have to? So there we go. But I pay taxes, as you said. You go buy something, you're paying taxes. You know, you're paying taxes on top of taxes on top of taxes. It's crazy. They
It
need
is
to do
crazy.
way. They need to do. I don't know how it would work because I never really looked into it. But if they got rid of the IRS or they got rid of income tax, where would they generate the money from to cover the cost of shit? The government. I mean, they need to get. Personally, they need to minimum cut the government by 50%, in my opinion.
That's what I was gonna say. They could reduce it, and there'd still be options available. Like if it was practical, for you to pay taxes for the fire department because they're actually going to show up and save your property or have a decent chance of doing so, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
So you could probably opt in, and they'd make a little extra out of that, maybe.
Oh, Tony says tariffs. Yeah, I like tariffs personally myself. But there's a good side and a bad side. You know, like China, for argument's sake, we use China because they're the big culprit right now. Is they build a car, and because they use slave labor and child labor and everything else, and they can build this car and sell it for I don't know all the, but say they can sell it for 40,000 right here in the United States, but that identical car built here in the United States, it's only, I mean, the cheapest it can be done here is 60,000. So they put a tariff on it, so there's an even playing field when it comes to selling cars. You know, within a few $1,000s. That's the principle of it. But
if you address the tax problem initially as a whole, I guess, as far as like income tax and whatnot, I think that's going to spill over into that type of stuff. So the companies that are making these vehicles or whatnot can probably do it cheaper and make it more competitive. Maybe not even, but more competitive. So maybe small tariffs could fill that gap. But as a whole, let's just face it, the government blows a shitload of money.
Oh, yeah,
shitload of money. They're out of control. Look at the national debt. Like you can't run your household, your business like that.
Oh,
Nobody can. It's the perfect example of what not to do. And at the same time, we're giving money away for foolish shit. We know it's foolish shit. Like some of these other countries with the gay studies and all this shit. It's real simple. They throw you off a damn roof. Like, there's not much to study about it. You know what I mean? Like all this stupid shit we're doing, giving other countries pallets, plane loads of money, giving our enemies freaking weapons and shit. Like we're idiotic. We're psychotic here.
I know.
So let's cut all that bullshit out and just go right back to the basics, and then we can people can opt into what they want to do. I don't want to pay for junkies. I don't want to pay for sex changes. I don't want to pay for any of that shit. You want to do that, you pay for it. Get your mama to pay for it. Shouldn't be me paying for that shit.
I agree with
you. Get
you.
it all back down to regular. Half the government's gone.
Yeah.
and they don't need so much damn money.
Yeah. Mind you, though, where I was going with the tariffs, there's a negative too, because for argument's sake, say some of that American car use Chinese products coming from China. China's being tariffed on that, so the cost of your goods is going up because you got to pay more for the tariff. Because the Chinese ain't going to sit there and say, "Well, oh, let's pay this without charging us more for it." But you know, it's a vicious circle. But I agree with you. What you call it? What's the gun snob say? We need a fair tax that way everyone pays taxes only on what they buy, not what they make. That way, all these people getting more money back at the end of the year than they pay in ends. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. And, you know, people with tax returns and shit like that. Yeah. Yeah.
We definitely need to do something because
Yeah.
we're getting screwed the way
Totally
things
are.
are. And really consider what are you getting for your tax money, honestly. I mean, even look at locally. I mean, how long does it take to get a pothole fixed or something? Like shit, I had to fix my own out here in the street. So
Yeah. See, I
yeah,
mean,
like
yeah.
you know, I can't speak for everywhere else, but according to the studies, like 70% of the bridges in our country are in need of repair or close to being shut down or whatever, way
Yeah.
past their life. I mean,
And
we got all types of infrastructure. Look at our
yeah,
schools.
then because of some of the damn
What the
regulations we
hell?
have, it takes years to get a bridge repaired. Because
Yeah,
what
well,
impact does it have on the environment?
it's just
Well, how many bodies you want laying on the ground here when the bridge collapses?
we're
For God's
basically
sake.
restricting ourselves to death. And
Yeah,
then the
yeah,
stupid part. So okay, we got all these regulations. We got to pay all this extra and do this shit. Well, do they forget like the other countries don't? I mean,
I
what,
know.
what do they think? The air gets filtered and recycled before it blows over here? What do they?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. I mean, the way they're going about, we got to save the planet.
it is.
So you know, you're looking at the world from up in space. Oh, okay, for argument's sake, look at that clear air. You can see right down and see the whole country of the United States. But go over China, you can't even see it because it's covered in crap of all the things they're making. But as you said, the winds blow, and all of a sudden, all that crap just goes over this beautiful clean air we have. You know?
Yeah. I mean, the trash islands floating away from China and all that
Oh
shit.
yeah,
Like,
hell yeah.
they just
Not
dump it
only
in the
China, there's
sea. But,
India. You know,
oh
all
yeah,
them
yeah.
countries. You know.
I know that's what I'm. And these are the places where we'd rather have them have jobs than us have jobs.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I agree. I
I
agree.
don't
It's
I don't get it. I don't
yeah,
understand what the hell's going on. Like this is all just a bunch of feel good bullshit. I mean,
yeah,
it's what even if we do our part, the rest of the world's being destroyed as it is. Does it
yeah,
mean we can just destroy? We know we should all reasonably do what we can, but without getting everybody else on board, we're really not doing much. Like, yeah, I don't know. You don't have. It's
yeah. Well, you know what I find scary? I was talking about it today. You know, was having a heated discussion. Um, is like the American missiles being used over in Ukraine right now, right? They're not
um,
cheap ass missiles that here you go, Ukraine, here you go, set them up, point them that direction, hit this button, and they go. They're more complicated than that, right? It's got to be it has to go through either we got to give them the system on how it works, or we have to do it for them. It's not a simple, press the button and the rocket flies to where you want it to hit. There's a big computer system and everything else. Now, I would imagine a lot of that is military secret shit, right? I know technically Ukraine's our ally, but are you going to give that shit away to a country that's so corrupt? I don't think so. So what you're doing is you got Americans pushing the button on these rockets that are flying into Russia. And I'm not now this what before all people get bent out of shape, I am not saying Russia is right or anything. Personally, I think they're wrong. But if you're just put yourself in Putin's shoes, right? All of a sudden, you got these rockets that America sent over there. Ukrainians don't know how to use them, so they have to have American input to send them. Putin's thinking the Americans sent that. NATO is coming after me because America's a NATO country, right? Then what he's going to say, if NATO's fighting on me, I could press this red button here and send nukes over to Ukraine and
all right. See, people are getting hyped up again. Nukes. I mean, come on now. Come on.
He's even said he'll use them.
Well, of course, that's what it's posturing. That's what people do. But
yeah, but
he's
crazy enough to do it.
Look at his invasion of Ukraine. I mean, that honestly, that was basically a joke in the beginning. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. They're dragging people out to fight now. But, you know, all in all, like a full scale war against the U.S., like they're not looking for that. And then you can say, okay, NATO, they're going to hit one of our partners or something. So they go ahead and launch some nukes. That's going to give NATO the green light to basically turn them into glass and just be on top.
Exactly.
So, right. So they're not going to do that. They're going to say they're going to do that. They're going to use other forms, this or that, but they're not going to do that. So, yeah, that's just.
You say so.
Not Russia, maybe Japan or something, where they have different morals, different codes, values, or so. You know, they might. It doesn't have to make sense. It's it's an honor thing, which most Americans don't even understand these days. But anyway, yeah. But freaking, and obviously they didn't in the past. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I think this new thing is just blown out of proportion, clickbait shit to make news. Honestly, so. I wouldn't even worry about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But I wouldn't even worry about it, man.
I tell you what, we're agreed to disagree. You're wrong. That's how I'm just going to leave it.
And it's official right here. We agree to disagree.
Yeah.
You bastard.
Mind you, Tony York says, don't worry about stuff. Soon enough, AI will figure out that humans are killing the planet and we'll have robots kill us all. You're absolutely right. Skynet is coming. You know, you saw that in the movies from years ago. You know, where do you think they get these ideas from?
We get justified to go after Russia. It'd be horrible. It'd be horrible for them. So I don't even. This is craziness.
All right. So how do you suggest? How do you think Trump's going to stop the war?
I don't know. I have no idea. So, I don't know. I mean, he could probably just stop funding, and that would dry it up pretty quick, probably.
Well, so. Russia just overtake Ukraine.
Oh, maybe, but the war would stop.
Yes, it would. But then you've lost Ukraine.
Well, they've lost.
To me, the Ukraine will be no more because Russia just will come in and take it all back. Then to me, that $1.5 billion we've sent so far was a total waste of fucking money.
Well, that's like most of our most of our conflicts. I mean, we take places over, we hold it for years, and then we just hand it over while the enemy's at the gates. And not just that, we leave them ammunition. We leave them pallets of gear. We leave them helicopters that, don't worry, they're not going to be able to fly them. We leave them all types of shit. So what would be any difference?
But see, problem is the war machine won't let it end because they're all making money. You make people who are the money makers in the world are making money out of war. It's that simple. You know, they're selling weapons to both sides. It's good for business. you know, and Russia, I mean, Ukraine and the diehard say, well, we can end this. Russia said you can end it. We'll keep what we've already taken, and you can keep what you got. Ukraine ain't going to go for that, and the warmongers ain't going to go for that. So the war continues. So I don't know. We are in a situation in where Korea, and now that enemy is invading yet another country. Is that what that word is, or am I misreading it?
I can't see the chat, so I have no idea. But.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we are in a situation in Korea, and now that enemy is invading yet another country. Who's North Korea invading? I know North Korea sent troops to Russia to fight Ukraine. And personally, I got in a discussion about that one today too. To me, on Putin's part, I think that's pretty smart. Right? Let the North Koreans die. I don't have to send my Russian boys in there.
I wonder how many of them North Koreans are trying to defect right now.
I'm wondering that too.
They're probably like, damn, this is better than home. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, I know everybody goes back and forth, but I really don't think we were ever meant to be the world's police. So, let other aspects of NATO handle some things. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're in debt. We're in debt beyond we're drowning over here. Like, everything's screwed up. We need to handle our house. And then, if we feel generous, want to help some people out. I mean, unless it's a direct initial problem, I don't think we should be bothering with stuff. And it may sound bad. I don't know, but that's just
every war.
Life.
Somebody said something today that I agreed with. Every war that we've stuck our nose in, right, we've lost. Every war where we were forced to fight, we won. We stayed out of WW1 until we were forced into it, right? Same with number 2. Japan forced us into it, right? And both of those we won. And we lost. We did not win Afghanistan at all. A bunch of goddamn terrorists with AK-47s held the mightiest goddamn nation. You know what I'm saying? Ground to a halt with all the machinery we have, and they kept the Americans down with AK-47s.
Well, on that, I want to argue a little bit. Now, yes, you're right, but I think the policies that were put in place limited our forces at times, if not most of it. Obviously there's, people refer to hearts and minds and stuff, but there was a lot of situations where your hands are tied. It truly is. And I think, if things were handled different, like if I don't know, I can't think of the right words, but I think we could have been more effective with a different policy. Let me put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Would we have been 100% successful? I don't know. I can't say, but I could say we could have done a hell of a lot more.
So RTAC says we were not allowed to win Korea, Vietnam, or the, I don't know what that last word is, because of politicians. Oh yeah, you're right. But those were wars that I said that we went into when there was no need for it. But what the hell do I know? Anyway, how did we get on this topic anyway? Did I start it?
Probably it is Rick's life, but I don't
know. Oh, yeah. Oh well. I think I'm getting. Vanessa says we need to go into Ukraine and kick ass. You know that's that could happen. But the shame of it all. This is my personal opinion, which ain't worth shit, really. Right? What's happening now that we agree to disagree on is not done to help Ukraine right now. What's being done with giving them rockets and giving them landmines and all this other shit that the Biden administration has authorized in the last 2 or 3 days is basically it's political. To fuck Trump when he takes office. For he cannot, at the end of 4 years, he cannot say there was no wars during my term. He's going to have a full-blown war when he takes office.
Well, I'd like to know what Ukraine does for us. Again, I'm not trying to sound insensitive, but
they're the wheat. They're the wheat belt of the world.
Okay. All right. And do we have to be dependent on that? I mean,
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's just a convenience thing, or
because I don't think we grow enough wheat here to sustain us. I'm not sure. I'm not a farmer.
Right. Yeah. I'm not in all. I'm up on all that. I'm just curious because
but they are from what I understand they are the big where they were. I don't know what they're like now since the war, but they were the biggest wheat producer in the world. Ukraine was.
All right. Well, I don't know. Yeah, how much it would take. How big it would affect that would be to us. But those are answers I don't have or whatever. But I'd like to weigh all that out honestly because I personally think again, I don't understand why we're gonna go in a sense spill our blood for others in a sense unless there's something going back and forth. And I know everybody says you're a good guy, whatever, but that's not true because I mean you look at like us being buddies with Saudi Arabia. Like any of us go walk around Saudi Arabia, we're probably gonna run into a damn problem pretty quick. So I just don't like. I don't think we should support not half, but a lot of the people we do. But we do for political reasons, for oil, for this, for that, whatever. Yeah. But these are the same type of people that are completely against our culture in some cases. And I just, I got no love for that. I don't know how else to put it. So
you said it. We need to take care of this.
Us handle
first,
ourselves
and help other people.
Like you can't, it's like a parent, if you're an alcoholic junkie, you're not going to do a good job raising your kid. So you got to get yourself in good shape to raise a damn kid or whatever the case is. It's the same damn thing, basically. So I don't
know. So, I mean, to me, that's just, I mean, we've seen it in the last 4 years with the southern border. They're coming across and the federal government and some states, are handing out housing, handing out, prepaid cards with money on it, food stamps and everything else. Why your veterans dying on the street homeless? There's something wrong with that picture, in my opinion. So personally, you should see the illegal dying on the street and the veteran be in the home and getting all the free shit. But Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I don't know. And I don't have a problem with people coming to this country as long as they do it the correct way. And I don't care. I've heard people say, well, some of those illegals are got jobs and paying taxes and shit. They haven't done anything wrong. Yes, they did. If you crossed the border and did not go through the proper channel, you broke the fucking law. It can't get any plainer than that. You're a criminal if you cross over without checking in the correct place. Would they allow you to go into their country illegally? I doubt it. You'll be thrown in a prison, and they won't even tell America they got you in prison. So now you're getting me all upset. Now I'm going to,
I agree with it. I mean, and it depreciates, all the people that came here the right way. The people that took 7 years getting through the policy, paying a bunch of money, learning what an American is.
yeah.
That took time, that took energy, took effort. They had to prove themselves. So, now they just stand by the side as they go to work every day and watch people line up for free shit that didn't have to do any of this. I mean, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pissed for my own rights, but my own right, I should state. But it's just, why bother? It doesn't make any sense. They're making it so there's no point in doing it the legal way. It's quicker, easier. We'll pay for everything. We'll protect you. It's ridiculous. So, and not against immigration at all, but I am obviously against people just doing whatever the hell they want to do and expecting us to pay for
it. Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, but anyway, now on a total 180 here. I mean, I am disappointed in your state there.
What really a shocker.
Right? I'm disappointed in New York. How in the hell can you go kill a squirrel that had 300,000 subscribers? Did you read that, or did your state hide that from you?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it, but
there was some guy who had a pet squirrel.
The squirrel had it covered. I don't know.
There was a guy that had a pet squirrel. He had a YouTube channel. The squirrel had 300,000 subscribers. Now you got some stupid law in New York that if you're I don't think you can own a wild animal, or if you do, you got to have a permit or something like that. Well, this guy didn't have one. So the wildlife people come and took his squirrel, right, and euthanized it. Just come and took it and euthanized it. Didn't say pay this fine, get the permit, and you're good to go. Just took it and killed it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it's not that uncommon.
Its name was.
It's the same thing with if you got a dog that could be perceived as aggressive, they'll hit a shelter. Most of the time they end up getting euthanized because they don't get adopted right away because there's 300 other dogs in there just like them.
Oh yeah, and Tony in the chat said not only was Peanut the squirrel euthanized, he also in the last few months or year or so he had a partner, a raccoon. I can't remember what the raccoon's name was, but he got euthanized too. And all the guy was doing was making videos of this squirrel doing. It was a pet. It couldn't have gone back out into the wild anyway, because it'd been, being around humans too much.
Domesticated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Yeah. I think
just
it would be more humane to let it try. Or
yeah,
from the worst, it gets ran over by a car like half the others. So
yeah.
I don't
But
know.
no, I mean, personally, they should have just fined the guy and said, "Here, get the permit, and have a good day." But no, come and took it, took the squirrel and the raccoon and killed them. I think that So there we go.
They'll basically do the same type of thing. Like if you got a cat here, and it like if you don't have proof that the cat's had shots and all that type of stuff, your cat scratches somebody, they go to hospital and say something, and then you get a phone call, people show up, like they will show up, and basically want to make sure that your cats have been vaccinated or whatever the case is. If not, then they're going to take your cat, decapitate it, and then go get it tested just to see if there was anything wrong with it.
Yeah. Oh, see,
So,
Tony did say the guy did release the squirrel, but he got fucked up by the other squirrels and ran back to the house because he was too domesticated by then. More than likely,
well, that's harden up, man. We all got bullied on the playground.
Yeah, but he had 300,000 followers. He was a YouTube star. Peanut the squirrel. I would imagine if you look, you'll still find his videos up. So, but that was your state of New York.
Haven't you seen like the Geico commercials? These damn squirrels. How many humans have they killed? How much pollution have they caused because of vehicles needing new bumpers and this and that because somebody
Hey,
a squirrel last minute?
Hey, don't get me wrong. Squirrels are just rats with fluffy tails. As far as I'm concerned, I don't. They don't even taste good. So, dinner looks good. I better. The show's almost over anyway, so you'll be able to go eat soon. But
I don't know. Yeah, what is like PETA or something making a big deal out of this or something?
No,
Okay.
the American people are.
Well, I don't know. They should maybe look into the laws and maybe they should get off their ass and go vote and get active and try to change them because there's a lot of weird shit out there like
well,
that.
the only reason it made headlines is because New York State is a Democrat state, and it's mainly Republicans who are saying, or conservatives saying, "Look what you did." You killed Peanut.
Well, I got to argue about that. It's not it's not the whole state.
I know that, but that's
if you look at that map, you go check out the map or whatever, like the vast majority of the
New
state
York was red.
is definitely, exactly.
Oh yeah, I know.
There's the
I know.
population centers where they bribe all the freaking bums and stupid people.
And even you look at California, a big majority of that's red. New York and California had a higher Republican vote percentage than they've had in years. But just as you said, those like New York City, Buffalo, those big cities, and then you got Los Angeles, San Francisco, they're all voting Democrat. There's more, the population's more dense, and that's how they pull it off. But yeah, Tony said the guy should have got the permit needed. Yes, he should have. I'm not saying he was right, but I thought it was a bit harsh. All they had to say was fine him, get the permit. Not confiscate him and kill him. That's that. That was harsh. That was harsh. So, you know, you gotta, it, I don't know. It just ain't right. I'm gonna have to get me a peanut T-shirt. I think. You know. Anyway,
well, it's not, but it's not the only thing like that that's technically not right. But yeah, when it comes to animals like that, yeah, they don't care. I mean, a lot of ways in our state, like a dog is just seen as a piece of property. You can pretty much do anything. It's kind of ridiculous. So
yeah.
as far as here's a good story. There's people had a puppy. They bring it into the vet the other day. Basically, it had something or other. Basically, it was going to need surgery. People that have the thing, they don't want to pay for the surgery. So, how old was it? Sorry, she's got earbuds on. But basically, beautiful looking puppy. Make your heart break type thing. So instead of passing the puppy on, because there's a lot of places that'll just take it themselves and pay for it and then try to have them adopted or whatnot.
Yeah.
There's other people, there's programs, organizations, all this stuff. Instead of doing anything like that, they just rather just euthanize the dog. And they did.
Yeah. That is sad.
But it's kind of shitty. I mean, you could have passed it off to somewhere else where it could have had a life, but they chose not to.
Yeah.
So, and they were legally within their rights to do so in New York State. So think about that. Like, I don't know, but it's a job I wouldn't want. I can tell you that.
No, I wouldn't either. Oh, Ozzy said there are no blue states, just blue cities. And technically you're right. But there's enough population in those cities to be a Democrat thing. But anyway, it's 7:57, so I'm going to call it quits. And I saw that steak that you need to go eat, so we'll end this up. But the quiz is what I'm looking for. What did I do with my piece of thingy? The quiz question. The drawing will be on the 4th of December. And that's the first Wednesday of the month. So that's when that will be. And this is an email question. It's real simple. All I want to know is the formula to convert mils to MOA or MOA to mils. Mil dot, on a scope is what I'm going after. That's all I want. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And get it into me by the 4th, and you'll be in for the drawing. So there you go. Also, I will be here next Wednesday, the 27th. That's the day before Thanksgiving. I will be here. So hopefully we'll see you all then if you're not too busy with your celebrations early. So with that, you got anything to close out with there, New York?
Sure do.
Go for it.
Just want to tell everybody, all you fine people out there that are looking great. I don't know if you're losing weight working out, but whatever it is, keep doing it. Yeah, we appreciate you coming by. Eat a salad.
All right. Great. Anyway, for everybody in the chat, thank you for stopping by and participating. I really do appreciate it. I really do enjoy it. And I'll be here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So with that, good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.